Put us on naughty list. Midnight Memories podcast.
Welcome back to Midnight Memories, the podcast.
Woo!
I sound really fake once again. I'm Aoife.
I'm Ali.
And I'm Harry.
And we're back with more 1D nostalgia.
You're joking. Not another one?
I thought you were going to say, and we're One Direction.
We're very excited.
We wish.
Yeah, that can be our intro for whenever we get into the albums. We'll do a new intro for like every season.
Whenever we get Liam on, that can be our intro.
Yeah, which will probably be soon, given that the video for Naughty List looks like it had a maybe £50 budget.
We have a higher budget than that video had.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think
Maybe
so.
it's meant to look like a TikTok. Is it meant to look like a TikTok?
Oh,
Is that...
this could be it.
Yeah.
That's her brand.
I don't know if
isn't
that
it?
much thought was put into it.
Yeah.
It looks like they just went into a photo booth and just were like, here, stick up some fucking tinsel.
And like the Photoshop and CGI of Liam clearly being in London and everyone else being in America.
Mm-hmm.
Exquisite.
It's like a fancy zoom.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could do a Zoom background that looks better than that big snowflake he was standing on.
They should have just like took a random lecture, like a recorded lecture. It still would have been better than the video. Sorry, Liam. I love you, but
Sorry,
the video
Liam.
was
Yeah.
fucking shocking.
Sorry, Liam.
Song
Sorry,
was
Liam.
terrible as well. So bad.
And
We've gone from roasting Louis every week to roasting Liam.
Yeah, it's Liam's turn.
Yeah. So, how has everybody been this week?
Yeah, okay.
Ali's given a thumbs up. Ali's eating. Ali just had a very dramatic
Yeah.
evening, listeners. Dun, dun, dun. Ali, talk us through your very dramatic evening.
My Deliveroo, or not my Deliveroo, my Just Eat delivery, got lost, and I was waiting for nearly 2 hours for my order, and I was like, hey, I should probably ring them. So I did.
After 2 hours, yeah.
After exactly 1 hour 45, I think, rang them and was like, here, I actually don't have my food yet. And then they kept asking me to like go on hold and stuff, and then they were like, oh, your order has gone out. I was like, yeah, sure, it's literally just gone out the door, thank you. So my food just arrived right as we began to record. So
Boom.
I'm gonna hold my mouth as far away from the microphone as possible when I'm not talking, so I can have a little snack.
Subscribe to our Patreon for content of Ali's ASMR. Woo!
Oh, woo!
Here, we've a load of the episodes out now.
Yeah, we're
Exciting.
fucking flying.
A whole 2 of them.
Great responses so far. Thank you to the fans.
Yes, thank you to the fans. Read out the reviews. Read some raving reviews.
Yeah, before... Okay, wait. Yeah, let me find the ones that I put on the Twitter. Oh, I have loads of them screenshotted on my phone here.
We have
Oh,
reviews.
Jesus. Yeah.
Multiple.
Harry, you are the breakout star of this
The
podcast.
breakout star.
Every fucker loves you.
And
Everybody
he doesn't even
loves-
like the band.
Oh,
I may not like the band, but I'm certainly becoming more and more knowledgeable about the minutiae of the One Direction fandom. Oh my god.
I keep getting texts from people being like, Harry Casey's so funny, oh my god, this line is so funny, need to follow Harry on Twitter now. Like, breakaway star, give it up.
Well done, Harry.
73
Kane.
followers on Twitter now, guys. It's going
MVP
so well.
Harry Casey.
I'm achieving all my goals.
He'll be passing out the
here-
D'Amelios next. Move over, Charlie.
Reviews such as, Ali, I'm crying at Harry saying the blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb about 1D.
So good.
I'm dying at midnight mems here in the gym. The three of ye are a riot. Review from my mum. Loved it. Smiley face, love heart. Lovely, natural, fun, well-informed conversation.
I'm so glad that your mother can work a phone. My ma doesn't know what a podcast is. I was like, are you gonna
I
listen?
sent her the Anchor link. I send her the link on Anchor because I know rightly if I sent her Spotify, she'd be like, whoa,
What is this?
Slow down,
No
egghead.
offense, Kathleen, who we have established as listening, but... But here, we have listeners in Eastern Europe. Actual listeners in Eastern Europe. Shout out Estonia, Czech Republic, and the Netherlands listeners.
Okay.
Good evening,
If
Europe.
Yeah. Oh my
Real
god,
quack.
we can present Eurovision now. We're
Yeah.
qualified. Big love to those European listeners. Give us an email. Come on, guys.
Yeah, come on.
Come
the
on the
podcast.
show. Come on the show.
We could have our own
Um,
Eurovision.
Oh my god, yeah. Like a Eurovision bracket of all of the One Direction songs that sound like they could have been Eurovision songs.
We should give the One Direction songs like points, like the Eurovision do. Each album.
Oh
Juice
my
bomb.
god.
Will we get like
Yeah.
will we get an independent jury as well? You know the way they allocate their votes.
Oh my god.
It's like the
Yeah,
public
Graham
vote.
Norton.
yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
man.
I'll give him a text here. He seemed...
I heard he's a listener.
Terry Wogan was the best. He was the best
Mhm.
commentator. I just so many good times. R.I.P.
R.I.P.
Real one.
King.
F in the chat, boys.
If you miss Terry Wogan, email us midnightmemoriespod@gmail.com and just hit that F.
But also remember that we are not your therapist.
Oh yeah, no.
Imagine we
Right.
just get a load of sad Terry Wogan fans in the email.
We become agony ants instead of a One Direction podcast. Okay, let's start talking about One Direction.
One Direction.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
those guys.
So this week we are talking about the magical time between One Direction finishing up on the X Factor and recording Up All Night and the release of Up All Night. So we're not going to talk too much about the music because that's what like the whole rest of this entire podcast is going to be. So we're not going to steal too much content from those, but we're going to talk about like the X Factor tour, the radio tour, them kind of going viral on Tumblr and Twitter and YouTube and stuff, and then the wee documentary Yuck, One Direction, a year in the making.
A year in the making.
So yeah.
What a time to be alive it was. I think that this
Here.
year is one of the highlights of my life.
This is a big week for Ali. Ali, why is this a big week for you?
The time I met 1D falls within this time period.
Oh.
Sound effect, sound effect. I say
Inception
meet
sound
very
effect.
loosely. I only have a picture with Liam.
No! Curse you!
Liam
met
Payne's
them
number one
all,
fan,
but-
Harry Casey, is raging.
Show me Liam!
We should edit Harry onto my picture with Liam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god. If I knew you were such a Liam stan, we wouldn't have put you with Harry on the Instagram. We would have put you with,
With
Liam.
Liam.
Yeah,
I just
we
wanna
would have
be
put you with Liam.
That's why I'm growing my hair
Hey, no.
long. Me and Liam are both in this sort of
Oh my
awkward
God.
stage of growing your hair, except he's a famous pop star and I'm just some guy with a cat.
Hey, we established this a couple of weeks ago, Harry. Everyone's just some guy.
Oh, did we? Did we? Oh, sorry.
Listeners, you can't see, but I just did the Debbie Ryan, even though all my hair is up in a ponytail and my headphones are covering it.
She's doing it around the side of her headphone.
Is Debbie Ryan?
Wow.
Who's that?
2020 culture,
Oh!
huh? Oh, Harry Casey.
I was gonna be like, is
Who's
she?
Debbie
I was
Ryan?
gonna be like, is she in the
I'm gonna get a picture.
Senate in the US or something? I was gonna
Debbie
redo that
Ryan
joke, but
Meehan.
She should be. She marched up to the president of the Disney Channel and she said, "Hey, I want to make history."
I've got. Why
That's
is her
Debbie
hair so
Ryan.
big? It's so large.
She's radio
I don't
rebel.
She looks like she's wearing one of those Irish dancing wigs.
She does.
She does.
Debbie Ryan.
Oh
Wow.
my goodness.
Debbie. Debbie
Oh,
cool.
what a queen. Do you know what I've noticed? See, every episode of the podcast, every time any person comes up, I go, they're an icon. But I mean it about Debbie Ryan, okay? Pixie Lott wasn't an icon. I retract that statement.
Yeah.
That's not true.
Debbie Ryan is an icon.
Oh, I just remembered Pixie Lott was in the Fred movie. Do you remember the Fred movie? Do you remember Fred?
Hey, it's Fred!
Remember Fred?
Yeah.
YouTuber with the high voice. She was in
Sensation.
that movie. Yeah. Oh my god.
She was his girlfriend, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah, she was.
I hope she was paid well.
Oh dear.
Yeah, I hope it was worth it.
Much like Liam's new video.
Yeah. Yeah, if she got paid as much as Liam spent on that video, she did not get paid well. Right, One Direction.
One Direction stuff.
Oh yeah, we're a One Direction
One
podcast.
Direction. So in the not a Mary Byrne podcast, not a mountain climbing podcast, not a Pixie Lot podcast.
Not a Debbie Ryan podcast.
Not yeah. Anyway, One Direction podcast. So let's talk about it. One Direction. So in the great grand scheme timeline of One Direction, they kick this year off by going on the X Factor tour. So this was a 33 date tour where like the top like 7 acts of the X Factor tour. I actually can't string a sentence together this episode. So it was Matt Cardle, Rebecca Ferguson, One Direction, Mary Byrne, Wagner, Katie Waisel, Paige Richardson, and Big Aidan Grimshaw.
What a lineup!
I know. They did 55 shows, which is intense.
Oh my god! And how long?
In 33 days or 33
there was
dates.
matinees, wasn't there?
Oh my god, that's
Yeah,
so brutal.
because it's very like family orientated. So loads of matinees and
sounds more like a circus.
The concept for the video circus is basically about, a circus.
I have been to the X Factor tour a couple of times, not to flex on you hoes. I didn't go this year. I did let the team down, but I went to see the X Factor tour the year Jedward were on.
Oh
my god,
And
iconic.
I went to see the X Factor tour the year Ben Haenow won. When they did that put together boy band of like 75 boys.
Oh
my God,
yeah.
I think-
All stood in a line on the show.
I
I remember that.
Was
Yeah,
this
and one of
before or after 1D? I have no recollection of this.
That was after.
no, like there genuinely was like 8 of them, and it just didn't work.
Oh.
Yeah.
But but yeah.
Was Stevie Ritchie on that tour?
Oh fuck off! I actually think he might have been that year. You know.
Yes, I love that.
Have
guy.
I seen Stevie Ritchie live? Am I one of the privileged
One
ones?
of the chosen
Stevie
few.
Ritchie. I don't know Stevie Ritchie.
Big Stevie Ritchie.
I'm literally.
I won't
Googling
call him an
them.
icon. I'll hold my tongue on
He's
this.
basically Wagner too, but like.
Oh yes, I do
Yeah.
know this guy. I just looked. Yeah. Was he
Yeah.
on like Big Brother or something afterwards? Why is he so familiar?
Probably was in a panto. He has a real panto head on him.
Yeah.
He does have a real panto head. He's behind you.
His gigantic head.
Oh god, I hope not.
I fucking.
Yeah,
hope
can we
not.
turn the videos back on?
So yeah, I didn't get to see the X Factor tour this year. Alison or Harry, imagine Harry like surprised had
Surprise,
seen them on this tour.
surprise, no.
Did anybody else see them?
I've never been to the X Factor tour.
It's good crack if you're a big X Factor stan like I was.
What's the sort of
I
vibes?
begged to go the year of 1D. I like begged to go, and I wouldn't mind, but I was offered a ticket, but my mom was like, "No, you're not going."
Oh,
Oh,
Jackie,
no.
what do you like?
Yeah, Jackie, how dare you? My dreams absolutely crushed.
Absolutely shattered. What are the vibes like at the X Factor tour, Harry? You asked.
I did ask.
Immaculate.
Good. Is it
Immaculate.
family front? Like in the.
It's very family
yeah,
oriented.
okay.
We went as like a family the year Jedward were on. I say that and I don't know if my dad was there, but fuck, if John Brown was at that, then I'm sure he repressed it.
Is there like
But-
an MC as well? Like, how does it work? Do the acts just come on straight after each other, or is like Big Dermo O'Leary there? What happens?
It's like recordings. It's like VTs in between.
Ah,
I don't. Oh, was there a host? Oh God, I feel like there wasn't. And if I knew, I can't give a proper answer to this. I don't remember. I remember there being like videos, and if there was a host, sorry to that man, but forgettable.
Sorry.
Absolutely forgettable. Yeah, and they would do just depending on like where you ranked in the show was how many slots you got in the set list.
Okay.
So they would do like some of the group numbers. And then they would do like whoever won would like sing the most songs. Obviously whoever came second and third would get loads. But judging by the One Direction set list that I found on Setlist FM, they did like a lot of songs. They
Pretty
seem to have,
extensive.
what they did, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They did 6 songs, which feels like a lot
Would that
for
be?
the third place act.
Would that be about a half hour, 45-minute set? Would it?
Yeah, but I feel like nobody else gets ones that long. Like, and so the way they do it is like kind of like how the show would run on the X Factor, like I said. So like, say Matt Cardle will come out and sing one, and then like Katie Weasel will come out and sing one, and then whoever will come out and sing one. Like, it isn't just like this person set, that person set. Like, they just, they all come out at varied times. Yeah, so they did Only Girl in the World, Chasing Cars, Kids in America, My Life Would Suck Without You, Forever Young, which was supposed to be their X Factor winner single, but it leaked online, so I feel like that's why they were able to do it.
Yeah, iconic.
Because that's like so random to be like singing what would have been your winner single. And then they also did Grenade by Bruno Mars. Yeah.
I remember that being very big. I think I downloaded like the live MP3 of that onto my phone.
What you don't understand is I catch a grenade for you. Throw my hand on the blade for you. Jump in front of a train for you. You know I'll do anything for you.
Yes. YouTube MP3.
Yes, of
That's
course.
how I get all the fun sound effects into this podcast.
No.
A fangirl's best friend.
Yeah. Fulvato, whatever that one is, the FLVTO website, got my back. That's how I do all my sound designs as well. Nobody sue me, but that's where I do my sound designs for actual theatre work.
For legal reasons, Aoife is actually not talking about herself, she's talking about a friend.
Yeah, if you're thinking of suing me, I'm completely joking.
Ha ha, laugh, funny.
But yeah, so they went and done that. I remember my cousins, shout out Rachel and Caitlin, they had a friend who met One Direction on this tour, and I remember being so jealous.
So jealous.
But yeah, none of us went, and so that time, don't really know what more there is to say about that.
No,
They
the
did
whole the Morgan Hotel. We have to talk about the Morgan.
Oh my god, Ali, take us away.
So when the X Factor tour was in Dublin, I don't know if all the acts, but definitely One Direction, were staying in the Morgan Hotel in Temple Bar. So if you're a local, you'll know where the Morgan is. It's like smack bang in the middle of like the touristy part of Dublin. So like a weird place to put a very popular band, first of all. But people very quickly found out that they were there. And I remember there was like people from school and like a couple of people from Newbridge that went up. So I was like obviously seeing it all over the internet. And once again, my mother would not let me go. But the whole street outside the hotel was just absolutely jammers with fans, like thousands of fans, not like hundreds of fans. And I remember just seeing, you can probably find these videos on YouTube. I would imagine they were on YouTube. They were definitely on Twitter. Of, I think it was like Harry and Niall, or maybe Louis and Niall, waving out the hotel window at like the fans and stuff at the front of the hotel. I don't think they were allowed to stop for anyone and get pictures at the hotel. But the crowd, like, oh my god. Especially for Dublin, because I feel like people here don't really bother that much sometimes with celebrities, but they did for 1D.
Yeah, and they weren't even like actually celebrities at that time.
No,
like
they didn't even
really.
have a song out.
Yeah, that's
This
what's
was
so
like-
mad about like
Yeah.
the 1D mania.
Yeah. I also feel like it was following on so much from the people who were outside the studios in London. Like, people were seeing, oh, that's a thing that I can do. And now that they're in Ireland, people never come to Ireland, you know? So they were like, oh, maybe we could do that and meet them. I remember there was uproar on Twitter, you'll probably remember this as well, Aoife, at that time, where people were like, oh my god, you only come to Ireland for like, what is it, like 2 or 3 days, and you don't meet any fans, because like barely anyone met them when they came here for X Factor Tour. I remember people going nuts because they were stopping, you know, like they did loads of little bits around England where they did stop and meet people.
Yeah, sign-ins and stuff, nobody ever really does them here.
Yeah, nobody does them here. And they weren't stopping anywhere for anyone here. So I just remember that being a massive thing on the internet. People being like, you don't value your Irish fans.
Oh my god. Niall sat crying like, I do. I'm so proud to be Irish, I do.
No, honestly, what a time. So funny.
Do you know, I'd say that, like, there's that rise in, like, being able to stand outside people's hotels and, like, follow them around is, like, for sure a Twitter thing.
Yeah, because people can
like,
find out so quickly where someone is.
Yeah, and you literally can just, like, skirt over. You can get the Lewis and stand outside the hotel. You can just do whatever, like...
Yeah, and also, like, in somewhere like Dublin, there's only so many hotels that they can stay in. Do you know, like, there's, like, 4 or 5 hotels that they're gonna put a band in.
Yeah.
And they're all very close together as well, so it's, like, if they're not in one, they're gonna be in the one around the corner. So,
yeah.
I feel like it's a fangirl's dream.
Here.
Sorry, I dropped off there for a bit because the cat moved off the bed and then it was like just like moving about under the bed doing weird stuff and I had to like...
I was wondering why you were so silent.
Yeah, I didn't know what the cat was doing.
We were missing our star player there. I was like, God,
Sorry.
me and Ali aren't funny
Where's he
enough,
gone?
are we?
We're all gonna tune out.
You can just add in some of my stupid fucking chuckles into the background.
Just you going, must have been the way we kissed. So yeah, I feel like what we were talking about. Oh my god, I actually can't be. Do you know why I can't string a sentence together? Right, is guys, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to tell you the cold hard truth. I've got my period and I haven't left my room in like 2 days. All I've been doing is watching Netflix. Cover your ears, Harry.
They are covered.
I haven't left. I've not left my room. I've not seen anyone I live with in 2 days. So I don't know how to hold a conversation.
I don't know why, but I thought you were gonna like break it to us that you had COVID.
Imagine.
When you went off there, that's what I thought was coming.
Oh my god, just me like down the mic.
Using my COVID days off to make a podcast.
I'm actually happy for this podcast because I was like getting quite worried for a bit during lockdown. I was like, I have not practiced socialization at all for like 6 months here.
And now you're just being trained to only talk about One Direction.
About One Direction,
so...
yeah, and 2010, the cultural milieu of 2010 to 2015.
Yeah.
Soup.
Nick Clegg.
What about that guy?
So yeah, that's the X Factor tour. There's really not that much to say about it. They did some wee video diaries and stuff, but like there is not really much to say. The only thing I have in my notes is Niall's hair, Jesus fuck, and there was a little Harry's outfit. There was a little Harry outfit watch. Moment. Where I noticed, following on from big Brian Friedman wearing them rosary beads at boot camp, Harry has like a holy bracelet on. Do you remember that was fashion?
Oh my god, yes! And then everyone started copying him as well.
Is that where that came from?
I wanted them for years. Like, it's actually sad how long I wanted one of those for, because Bella wore them in Twilight as well. And so I wanted them so bad.
Did he have like a little brown one or a green one or something?
Yeah, wee brown one.
Yeah.
No.
Oh my god, I forgot all about that. Wow. That was such a trend for a while, wasn't it? The holy
like, literally
bracelets.
no interest in religion.
Literally the most atheist people walking around with the bracelets.
Fashion. But I feel like that convo kind of led nicely on from what we were like briefly talking about there about Twitter, meaning you can stalk celebrities better, to discussing the role of social media in One Direction's rise to fame, because like by the time they're releasing the first album, they're already internationally famous. Like, they're set.
Harry actually has a really gas thing that he says in the Year in the Making documentary where he's like, we owe our whole career to electricity.
Oh yeah.
It's like, yeah.
Yeah, no medieval.
You really do.
Yeah, because like if you are discovering them through whatever friend or through Twitter, like there's always a market for a boy band. And like I honestly can't tell you what it was that set One Direction apart, because like you had Busted, McFly, the Jonas Brothers, The Wanted. Like The Wanted and JLS were like still on the go at the time in the UK, so what need was there for this other boy band to come up? And like,
I feel like
how?
they use social media really well though. Like they were very this year in particular, like 2011, they were so interactive with fans. Like they were tweeting left, right, and center. They were doing Twit cams. Like obviously, if you see someone on your timeline freaking out over getting a reply from some band from a different country, you could be in the back arse of Estonia, like some of our listeners are, and you could be like, "Who are they freaking out over?" And then you're gonna look them up and you'll be like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
Like
And
that's
they're so
probably
accessible.
Yeah, they're so accessible, and like they were probably the same age as most people who were starting to be on the internet at this time as well.
Yeah, I wonder if that is it, like, because I feel like we've said it before, and like we'll continue to say it, because like as the Wanted beef comes up, like literally One Direction are the Wanted but 5 years younger, and so they must have been raging. But maybe it is that like 5 year generational difference where they're like, oh, but we all use social media, that happened with like the Gen Z millennial cuspers. This is the part of the podcast where we start to actually do a PhD on One Direction, guys. Sorry, no more jokes. It's only business. But like, yeah, like you say, Ali, like they, and I don't even know if it was like had the cop on. Like I think they genuinely in this year were just waking up every day going, what the fuck, guys? What the hell?
I don't think it was
We're living the
intentional.
dream.
I don't think they were like sat down and told, right lads, you need to be on your phones all the time. You need to be texting all the gals there on Twitter. I think they just did it, and it just worked.
Yeah. Because I'd say play like, not to be like management the way other people are.
Modest.
But I'd say that like even management teams hadn't realised the value of social media, and like One Direction fans did the legwork.
I was just gonna say, I was like, we did the work. The management were probably doing less work than we did.
Yeah,
less
at this
hours
time.
put in.
because like you wouldn't think.
We didn't get paid though,
like,
did we?
No.
Oops.
Because you wouldn't even think though, like when your act has come off the X Factor, you're not going to be, first thing we need to do, get them to America. But like, they were in America. They were all over.
I love actually in that documentary as well, where they're like is it Milan?
Yeah.
And they're like hanging about in some square, and they're like, oh, it's so nice to just like be on holidays with the lads. And Zayn's talking about the fact that he didn't even have a passport, or it was never even near a plane before 1D. And they're like, we're probably not going to see any fans here. And then all of a sudden,
cut to
it's like thousands
pandemonium.
of fans on the street.
It's
Yeah.
mental.
What?
Zayn actually says that he's never seen a plane before, and I'm like, do you never see one even in the sky? Like,
Zayn, just look up.
yeah, I mean, like, what did you think those were?
He's like, planes don't fly over Bradford.
Planes don't fly over Bradford. Poor guy.
Yeah, planes don't go over Bradford and Antarctica, flat Earth.
Yeah. Bradford is a no-fly zone. We need military intervention in Bradford. They have weapons of mass destruction.
Zayn's voice, that you and I know. Ali, do you remember watching any of the Twitcams? Harry, I feel like you're so excluded from so much of this combo.
What is
really
Twitcam?
bad.
I know there's Twitter didn't let you used to post pictures for some reason. So that's what TwitPic is.
Before this, you TwitPic, and then before any like lives were a thing, TwitCam was like this separate website where you could go live, and it would post a link to your Twitter to let your followers know that you were live over on TwitCam. And you could like, there was like a little comment box thing in the side, but you could also like, I think there was a hashtag that came with each TwitCam link as far as I can remember. So if you hashtagged just a normal tweet, it would also go into the chat box. And like right after X Factor, 1D were very on this buzz. I specifically remember watching Harry's Christmas one with Gemma.
Yeah, me too.
I remember that one really well. I remember Niall did one with some of his friends from home. I think also around Christmas time. I remember watching that one. I think there was another Harry one that I watched at some point. Can't remember when that was.
Yeah. I was trying to find the one. There's like loads of gifs of him from one, and it's from the X Factor house. Oh my god,
The
Harry's
cat.
got his cat on Zoom, guys. Patreon content. Pew, pew,
Aw.
pew.
I'm gonna have to actually put the cat downstairs and close the door, because it's actually just gonna.
I'm gonna edit that to just say I'm gonna have to put the cat down.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to put the cat. I'm gonna have to publicly execute the cat. Yeah. Anyway, right.
Bo's going in the stocks tonight. Anyway, yeah, I remember watching that.
You could hear the cat. Oh, the cat just went meow.
Oh. I remember watching that Christmas Eve Twitcam because I remember my slide robes were being put in that day. What a Celtic tiger baby
wow.
thing to come out with. My slide robes were being put in and they were finished and my mum was like, Aoife, come look at your new wardrobe. And I was like, but what if he answers my question?
But mother,
I
I'm
can't not
busy.
be here. And I was so worried about it. In hindsight, I'm like, anyone who sees the name Aoife come up is never going to answer it because they can't say it. You know?
Mom, I'm busy talking to a boy on the internet. Leave me alone. The wardrobes can wait.
Busy talking to Harry. Yeah. I remember, again, not to like let you guys know just how popular I was in secondary school, but I was big on. I loved Tumblr at this time.
Damn.
And I remember, and I feel like this was a real like, oh shit, they're gonna be a thing moment, like for the fans and for them a bit, while they were recording Up All Night in Sweden. And like I remember it coming up on Tumblr, like pictures of them in Sweden, like not pap pictures, but like fan pictures of them in Sweden, and like videos of people going to the studio to see them, and like, what the fuck? That's mental.
Yeah. Why do the Swedish people know who this X Factor UK band
Yeah.
is?
Yeah. Did they know who Matt Cardle was? I don't fucking think so.
Absolutely not.
Did they
No.
know who Shane
They
Ward
probably were like,
was?
oh, that's that guy Harry talked to.
I mean, Shane Ward is actually more famous in Vietnam than the UK now, so there's that as well.
Tune in 2021 when we become a Shane Ward podcast.
Shane Ward in Vietnam podcast.
Iconic.
Yeah, so good.
So yeah, it means that by the time One Direction were releasing What Makes You Beautiful on the album, there's like all of this content to find and this online fan community already there. We're not really gonna like, so if we were doing the timeline of One Direction as we have been at this point, we would be talking about the release of What Makes You Beautiful and into the album. But because of the way we're going to structure the podcast, we're going to talk about those things in a couple of weeks, and we're just going to go straight in talking about the A Year in the Making documentary because it covers so much of this time.
Yeah.
So there'll be a bit of overlap in the conversations, but you know what it is we're just so funny that you're going to come back every week anyway, so it doesn't matter if we say
and
the
if you
exact
don't
same
like
thing
it,
every
you
week,
can
guys.
fuck off. Get off my podcast.
Mic drop. Oh, that feels like a nice time to talk about hot takes.
Ah!
Do we want to talk about mine?
in this segment that kind of went hard last week actually, but every other week I feel like flops and I always forget about it until 10 minutes before and I'm like, oh fuck, I need an opinion. Anybody got a hot take this week? My hot take is that someone should give me a job.
You have a job.
Okay, let me rephrase.
A
Someone
new
should
job.
give me a job that I want. Guys, if you are a theatre or a TV producer, I have so many good ideas. Please, 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 please.
Yeah,
Let me pitch them to you.
Aoife has written hundreds of pages of fan fiction. She's got so many ideas. She's got so many.
Hey, I only wrote a couple of chapters.
Only a couple. Of
I only wrote a
chapters.
couple of
Guys.
chapters.
50 Shades of Grey started as a Twilight fan
Twilight
fiction, and
fanfic.
look where that is now.
Hello, and guess what started as a 50 Shades of Grey fanfic? After. And look where that girl is now. She's a
There you
restraining order
go.
from Harry Styles. So that
What?
could be me.
Does she? Does she actually?
Yeah, I think so. I'm pretty sure
No.
Anna Todd has a restraining order from Harry Styles.
No.
He took some kind of legal action against her, I swear.
Oh my god. Fair play to him. He's dead right.
here, isn't he?
That's so funny. I didn't know.
That could be me. I could have a restraining order.
That could be me.
From somebody, from Stephanie Meyer when I adapt Twilight and she doesn't like it.
Oh my god. Wow. Sorry,
Anybody else have a hot take?
My hot take, the D'Amelio twins. Twins? Sisters?
Sisters.
Shit. Like, what is the content? What do they do? Like, honestly.
Dances.
They,
Charlie
they
is a
do
dancer.
a few 15-second dances. Also, I don't know, we were talking about them earlier before we were recording this podcast, because I don't know, my 10-year-old cousins are obsessed with them, and I was like, what do they do? And my cousin literally answered me by saying, she has 63 million followers on TikTok.
Yeah.
In response to, what does she do? I was like, alright, cool.
God.
And then I went on her Wikipedia page just before we were recording, and that is it. Like, her whole thing, like, her career is internet personality, and I'm like,
Yeah.
Nice.
I want that. I want what you have. She has a nail polish line. She has is it like a makeup line? She has a podcast, or is making a podcast. She's just kind
We
of
have
doing
a podcast.
everything.
Where's our nail polish line?
Where's our 4 million euros? But also her
where's our
dad's
63 million followers?
her dad's a conservative. Well, he ran for the Senate as a conservative, so I don't know, questionable.
Tory.
Yeah, my hot take is that I don't get it, and normally I do get these internet hype people, but
I think
I don't
Charlie
know.
D'Amelio seems sweet. I don't know if I'm biased in saying that because some TikTokers that I watch like her. So if I'm like, Brittany Broski says she's cool, so I agree.
I
But
mean,
she just
they're
seems
fine.
like-
they seem like fine people, but I'm just like,
Charlie seems really sweet, just doing her wee dances. She's only
Yeah.
16. She's not really hurting anybody. I know she's had a couple of scandals there in the last few weeks, but like, she's only 16. The sister is the one I find weird because she is older and fully her career is, I am Charlie D'Amelio's sister, and I find that really weird.
I just
Even
find
though
it
one
weird in
day
that,
she
like,
was really, 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 really sad.
they're just like raised and like, I don't know, bread and buttered to be famous, and it's just, I don't know, I find that the culture that really
Hey,
strange.
me too, bitch. But I'm not.
She
Yet.
says from Donegal.
Yeah.
I love how it's like these gals up there over in LA or wherever they're from, and then it's us here in Ireland being like, yeah, we're made to be famous.
Yeah, they're literally from LA, and I'm like, yeah, in the hills of Donegal, air comment.
We're like, yeah,
going up
Hollywood's on our
I
doorstep.
could be famous too. I don't think you were made for that, love. The stork left you off and said, be a nobody, deal with it. Harry, what's your hot take?
Oh my god, wow, she really went on one. I mean, if we're super stuck, there is a Hollywood in County Wicklow. Next best thing.
There's a Hollywood in County Down as well. There's County Antrim. There's a Hollywood.
Yeah,
in
that's where
Belfast,
Jamie
yeah.
Dornan's from. We'll go to Hollywood.
Hollywood. I'd rather fucking not, to be honest, but
Yes. Hollywood and County Wicklow actually built a Hollywood sign on the hill.
nice.
It's when you're driving into the village, you just look up and it's like really, really tiny white letters, and they're normally like surrounded by sheep.
Yeah.
Harry, do you have a hot take?
I don't really have a hot take this week,
Oh.
but I do have a recommendation. Everyone should go and watch GeoWizard on YouTube. He tries to, with the caveat that every time he does this, he does nearly die. He tries to cross countries in a straight line. And he's just so unprepared. He doesn't have gloves. He doesn't wear a hat. He does wear a hat.
What
I suppose.
country?
He doesn't have gloves. He doesn't have a first aid kit. He's done Wales twice. And he recently did Norway. And the Norway one is terrifying.
Oh my gosh.
Because he tries to cross, like, I'm going to spoil it a bit. He tries to cross a peaked bog. He walks through it and he
Oh
nearly
my
dies.
God.
Yeah, like, seriously, it's like, oh my god. So yeah, they are amazing videos of, like, a man who's like, he's like, I feel very intensely related, like, a intense relationship with this man, because he simultaneously underestimates the task ahead of him and overestimates his own capabilities completely. Where he's just like, yeah, I can walk through the night 12 miles and then do all this. It's just like,
Oh no.
Is
it like shit Bear Grylls kind of thing?
yeah, he does a very bad Bear Grylls impression.
I feel like this is what like Liam Payne will
but
move
just
on to do
not.
next.
No, why I was about to
It
say
just
that.
sounds like it's like it's the
Yeah.
only thing left. It's the only thing
He
left.
did do that. As I mentioned, he did that interview with the SAS guy.
Yeah, he's preparing.
So he did.
he's
sort of
doing
do
his
that.
research.
Yeah. And the only music they
Yeah.
could listen to in the car when they're driving through Africa was like, strip that down, because obviously you can't play music, because then you can't edit the footage of them talking about like Cheryl Cole. So he's just like, do you want to put on your new song on the stereo, Liam?
Except this time round, it's naughty list.
Now that we're done with that,
So yeah, were we going to talk
So
about...
that was hot takes.
That was hot takes.
So now let's just go straight into talking about the documentary.
doc.
So, a year in the making, 1D doc, released on the 23rd of November 2011. I remember watching this with my cousins Rachel and Caitlin making an appearance again. Shout out Rachel and Caitlin.
Should I?
And Ben Winston produced
Mad.
this. Interesting.
For the people at home.
Harry, ask me who Ben Winston is.
Who's Ben Winston?
I'm so glad you asked. Ben Winston is a TV producer, and he would go on to have a long-term friendship and like be a collaborator with the band,
Alright.
and a pretty controversial figure within the 1D fandom. Like, to be honest, we could probably do a fucking episode on Ben Winston. Maybe when we do You and I, we'll also talk about Ben Winston. So he directed like a whole rake of One Direction music videos. He produces the James Corden TV show in America. So that's why he's controversial, because he takes big swings and they all hit, but do they really? So yeah, this I guess is where they met Big Ben.
Big Ben.
What did we think of the doc,
I have so
guys?
much to say about this doc. Does anyone have any highlights from it? I have so many highlights.
Yeah, let's like go through it storyline by storyline, shall we?
Yeah.
Harry talking about his autograph,
So-
I thought was a little bit iconic. I think,
Didn't know.
yeah, he's like, well, I have the line written down. Yeah, he goes, signing my first autograph was weird because I didn't really have one, so I just wrote Harry, bog standard. It's like, obviously you're gonna write Harry. It's not that difficult to write your fucking name. Like, how difficult is this, you slow cunt?
I feel like this documentary is the longest, like, full sentences I have heard from Harry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the most this man speaks.
Yeah,
Because he just goes, all the time, which I also do, but, like, I'm not a media trained pop star, I can say,
Yeah, I remember in the Graham Norton show in like 2013 or 14, he was on it, and like he didn't seem too happy to be there. Let's say to be doing any media at all. Oh, this is a bit awkward, Harry. But yeah, it feels like a very like unguarded. I don't think they'd ever let anything like that out again. Like, I don't know what the This Is Us documentary is
Much
like.
more curated.
Yeah. I feel like there's a lot
it's
of
all
honesty
quite
in it.
fluff piece, really, isn't it?
There's one bit I love in it as well where they're talking about going around to all the different countries in Europe, and Niall's being interviewed in like a corridor or something, I think, and he's like, oh, tomorrow we're off to Amsterdam, boys, and he's like, He's
Niall
so
is so cute in this. His teeth are so bad and his accent is so thick.
I literally wrote that
My
down as well. I was
God.
like, Niall is so culchy.
Accent
His
is
accent's
wild.
so strong.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know, I didn't think until I watched this
Yeah.
back that his accent had ever changed. But it has. It has gotten more neutral.
Probably by necessity, really, because like
Honestly, like,
there's no way some people are gonna understand that. Yeah.
Yeah. Liam's hair in this is really cute. There's something positive we can say about Liam this
he
episode.
does look
looks
very
so
cute.
He looks so cute. So yeah, basically storyline wise for this, the first part is just like an X Factor recap. One thing I have in my notes is Harry says that his boot camp song choice was safe, and in hindsight he thinks it was boring.
Yeah.
I fucking agree.
Glad he's
Yeah,
self-aware.
well, that's what I said. Roll the tape.
And we only see like a little bit of his audition, which is
Not good.
kind of boring because it's a really bad song choice.
It's
because
such
it's
a
a really
monotonous
boring
song.
Yeah,
Isn't
it's like a B-tier Oasis song, but like Harry is singing out of tune there as well. It's not a good performance from him. It's a bad song for him as well. Like none of those guys really do well with slow songs. IMO, I don't think.
It's also just too flat, isn't it? It's too
Yeah.
flat a song for anyone
Yeah.
to pull off.
Roll the tape. This is what I said. Yeah.
Yeah, and then they go into like the release of What Makes You Beautiful and all that kind of stuff, which for the most part we will talk about in the What Makes You Beautiful episode. But one thing we are going to talk about here is the radio tour.
Oh yes.
Ali!
Iconic.
Ali, you take the lead here. Take us away and tell us about, in detail, fucking minute by minute, how you met One Direction.
So, I went to Dublin. I'm pretty sure it was the 19th of August in 2011, if I'm remembering correctly.
Which I'm sure you
I feel
are,
like
'cause
it's like
this is a day
stamped
you'll
in my
never
brain.
forget.
I could actually be wrong. I could be wrong. If any 1D fans want to get back to me on that one to confirm, there is actually a YouTube video of this, so it's really cringy and there's a lot of screaming from me, but if we want to link it, we can.
Oh, we'll be linking
But yeah,
it.
I went up to Dublin for the day. Oh, we'll be linking it. Went up to Dublin for the day with a couple of people from home, and like I was like, what age in 2011? Like 20? Was I 50? I was 20. I was not 20. I was like 15. Where was I going with 20? I was like 15, I think. And like I didn't know my way around Dublin at the time, so like we got off the train at Houston, and then we were like, right, we know they're going to spin 1038, so that's where we have to go. And you know, we're all obviously on Twitter and stuff checking up on all this shit at the time. So we go out of Houston and we get in a taxi because we've no idea where Spin is. And we're like, well, let's go to Spin, and we're all there with like our limited amount of cash. So everyone's like chipping in and stuff. We get Spin. Me thinking, there'll be like 50 people there. Spin is down like a laneway. It's kind of near the Lear, if you know where the Lear is. It's down like one of those little laneways. And the whole laneway was just like full of people. And like this was really early in the morning as well, and they weren't due to come in till the evening. So we were just like, oh shit. But we stayed there anyway for a little while because everyone who was there was actually really good crack. But then it got to a point where it was just filling up so much, and I was just like, we are not meeting them if we stay here. So I was like, they'll have to go to RTE. Like, RTE I don't think had tweeted anything about it, but I was like, they're not going to come and do a radio tour and not go to our main radio station. That would be weird. So we made friends with a bunch of other girls at Spin, and that made our taxi fare cheaper. We just got a 7-seater and went out to RTE. And we get to RTE anyway, and if anyone is from Ireland and listening, you'll know that RTE has a little bit of like, there's kind of grass at the front of it and a couple of trees, and there's like a barrier, but you can go into the grass, and there was like maybe 5 people there, and I was like, okay, promising, there's people here, but there's not lots of them. So we went in and we're like, do you know anything? Are they coming here? Are you here for 1D? Ended up being really good friends with these girls, still friends with one of them, and yeah, still friends. Going to Harry Styles with her next year. Hey Sarah Jane, if you're listening. But what's it? We're chilling with them, and they were like, oh, we don't know, we're just chancing it. And I was like, okay. So we waited there anyway for maybe an hour or two, and next thing, Niall Horan's mum walks around the corner, and we're like, Mora, and she came over, and we were like, obviously they have to be coming here if she's here. So we went up and we're like, are One Direction coming here today? And she was like, oh yeah, I think they're on their way from Belfast. I can't remember now. I'm assuming they were coming down from Belfast. But she was saying, yeah, they are coming here. And we're like, oh my god, amazing. But it was so funny, she didn't like go down into RTE, she just like hung out with us.
It's not like
for
a regular
ages.
mom, I'm a cool mom.
It was like Niall's ma and his stepdad were just there with us for like an hour. And
was Greg there?
Greg wasn't there. Greg
nice.
surprisingly didn't show face.
Greg!
How many years were hanging out with his parents?
Probably like 10 of us. I have pictures of this, and we can put them on the Instagram. But yeah, they waited
That's
with
quite
us.
funny.
And Niall was like
Midnight
fully
Mems pod.
texting his ma during this whole time. So like she was letting us know. She was like, "Oh yeah, he's text or whatever." This is so mad to look back on. Oh my god, people would kill for this shit now.
It's crazy.
But
Oh god.
I think eventually
Yeah.
she went down to the studios. I don't know whether we weren't allowed or whether we just didn't go. But then Ricochet came out, one of the radio presenters, and was like interviewing some of us. And then I think some of the girls that we like didn't really know that were there had text people to say, yeah, they're coming. So then more people started to come, and I was like, oh, for fuck's sake, you couldn't just keep this secret, girlies. So eventually, I don't know, maybe it was like 4 or 5, can't remember. Their bus comes around the corner, and we're all like, oh my god! And Harry was like sitting in the front, and he was like waving at us all. Couldn't see in the back.
Like the Queen.
Yeah, fully like the Queen. He was like loving life. So like they drove down the radio part of the RT campus. It's like way down the back. So like we all ran after the bus, but sure, like they were zooming along. So by the time we got there, they were already gone into the building. So they were in there for ages, but there was like they put up a barrier. I'd say by this point there was maybe like 40 people. So we're hanging outside the building for ages, and this is where it's actually gas. Their bus was parked there, and Paul Higgins was there.
Yeah.
And he was trying to like empty.
Oh my God.
Shout out to Paul Higgins. He was so gas.
We have to get him
he was, like,
on.
trying
I
to-
need to find.
We have to.
I must start spam tweeting him or go in his DMs or see if he has an email or
Yeah, I
something.
wonder is like he retired now or what?
Oh,
But,
well, if he's
he was
retired,
trying
then
to
he may as
clear-
well. Come on, he's nothing else to do.
Yeah, what else is he doing? He was
Harry,
was
this
trying to
was one of
clear,
their bodyguards.
like rubbish and stuff. Oh yeah,
Alright, okay, yeah, I was just googling
yeah.
him there.
There was like
And it was coming up like
Paul
actors
and
stuff.
Preston.
Yeah.
Preston was the other one. I don't know if Preston was there. I can't remember, but Paul definitely was. And we were kind of just arsing about, waiting for them to come out. And we were talking to Paul, and they'd had McDonald's on the bus just before this. And we were like messing with him. We were like, oh, is there any leftovers? We were all fucking starving. And he was like, oh, actually there's some drinks left over if you want them or whatever. And he like passed out like the ends of One Direction's drinks to us.
No!
And then
Oh,
also, I have
God.
He'll not
I
be doing
would
that
send the picture.
post-COVID.
That is gone. That will never happen again.
No.
I still have
Never
Niall's
should have
milkshake
Oh
cup.
my god.
I kept it.
The milkshake
And
probably
if
still
anyone
looks the
wants
same
to-
as
Oh.
McDonald's.
If anybody wants to put a bid in for this milkshake cup, bidding starts at 1,000. Thank you. Please keep that going up. But there's also a picture of me holding an entire bag of their rubbish that Paul Higgins also passed out to us. Right?
Oh,
And
our
then what
Instagram
else
is
he-
going to be popping this week. Fuck.
He gave us
Pop it off.
they had Moam sweets from wherever their
Nice.
previous, I think Belfast, someone gave them Moams. He like gave us a
Go on,
bunch of
Crit
sweets.
FM.
And then he also, Harry, speaking of where he was talking about writing his autograph, and he's like, oh, I don't really have one. He was practicing his autograph on the bus. Paul handed us out this, it was like a sheet. I don't know if someone had given it to them, but it was like Harry and Niall had like signed their name like 100
Oh,
times on it.
that's so cute.
Um,
Oh my god.
And yeah, I have a picture of this as well, so we can put that up. But we all, like, all the girls who'd made friends, we'd all tore a little bit off to keep. Isn't that so
Oh
cute? Like,
my
we all
god,
had to keep a
stop
little
it.
bit of
That's
this,
so
like,
cute.
piece of paper that they'd all written on. But then, yeah, back to waiting on them. Yeah, there was actually gas crack waiting on them. Everyone who was at RT was so sound. But then, yeah, they came out and it got absolutely bonkers at this point. Everyone started pushing everything like classic fangirls. But Liam, Harry and Niall came over to where we were. There's like, I have it on video, you'll see they sort of come over our way. And Harry signed my friend's phone. I think Niall signed one of the other girls' like, was it a phone or a CD or something. Liam came over to me. This is really funny. We can post both pictures. I'll dig them out. But he took a picture with me, right? But because I had taken a picture of them coming out of the building with the zoom on, the zoom was still on. It was like, you know, those little handheld cameras. So when he took the picture, the only thing that came up was the very side of my face and the background. So here's me. Look, I go to look at the camera and I'm like, oh fuck.
No.
So I just like start screaming. I was like, Liam! I was like, the picture didn't take! And he's like going along the line of like all the other people. I was like, oh my god, my one fucking chance to meet. And remember, at this point, I'm still a Liam girl.
Oh.
Important to remember. So I was like screaming, like I was so.
Oh, no.
I don't think I've ever been so anxious in my life. But then all of the fans who were at RT were so sound, and everyone started screaming, being like, Liam, her picture didn't take. Her picture didn't take. And then all of them go to get on the bus. They're all on the bus. And Liam comes back, right? He comes back over.
Oh my god.
And it's like, oh my god, you thought I wasn't going to come back there, didn't you? And I was like,
Oh.
I literally was like, oh my god, you are the nicest person ever.
Oh god,
and then
love him.
he took a new picture. Yeah.
Oh, we
he
take
took a
back
new
everything we
picture
said
of me
about
there,
your
the
shit
picture.
music, Liam. We love you.
We love you.
Yeah, everyone goes
This
stream
is why I
naughty list,
defend
please.
him all the time, even though he makes like stupid decisions. I'm like, he's actually
Oh,
really nice.
that's lovely.
Yeah, like the picture is awful, and I was 15. My skin was so horrible at the time, and I remember I edited the shit out of it. So I will find the original version for us to post, because the edited version I look like a floating head. I don't know what I did with it. I think I like zoomed and fucking airbrushed the shit out of my face. But it gets better. We then go into town, where they are going to FM1. I think Niall's mom told us actually that they were going to FM 104. Because I don't know if that had been tweeted, but we got there anyway, and there was a load of young ones there. Now, not too many, but like a good few. But they were being really sort of pushy and stuff.
One Direction fans are the most violent people. Like, they're not the loudest concert I've ever been to. That's the Jonas Brothers. I think we talked about that a different week. But I've been to many concerts in my time, but I've never been like bruised and shoved like I have been at a One Direction concert. Jesus fuck.
FM 104 was so annoying because of this, because when we got there, all the people who were there were being a little bit weird with us, because we just arrived from like meeting them at RT, and they were like, how did you meet them? And we just like explained to them, we were talking to Paul Higgins before, he was like, if you don't push, if you aren't, you know, annoying little fuckers, they will stop. And like they I don't know, they listened to us, but they didn't listen to us, because the minute that the band got there, they just went absolutely apeshit. Now we were standing at the very back, so they were obviously all there before us, but they went in, they weren't inside for that long, and when they came back out, like we had organised almost like a little queue from the door of the FM 104 is kind of up near the 3 Arena. I don't know if it's still there, but that's where they were at the time. But they'd organise like a little line from the door out to their bus. So like, you know, everyone would have met them, I think, had people remained calm. But the minute they came out the door, people just went absolutely apeshit, and like, not even at the band, but like at each other and stuff as well. Like the girls were all like going mental. So we were just like, we're stepping away from this. This is insane.
One Direction really just brings out like
the worst,
the most animalistic base nature.
Yeah.
In people.
Also,
like,
people
even in that documentary, do you know whenever the girls are like in HMV meeting them in Scotland, and they're all like crying on the escalator, like, and he touched me, and then Liam said he loved me, and then he hugged me, like they're fucking mental.
But like, people just, I don't know, at this point I just thought people needed to use their brains a bit. Like, everyone was freaking out over the door of them coming out. Me and my friends, we just went over to like the other side of the bus, because then when they got into the bus and were in their seats, they could just like wave at us out the window, because we were the only people at the bus.
The big brain, the big brain.
We were like, girls, they're like on the bus, like they're right. Like Harry fully like pointed at my hat. I think he was like trying to say that he has the hat. I was like, yes, I know, I got it because you have it.
I know.
But yeah, that was I suppose you could say we briefly met them a second time, but
wow,
they were the other side of some glass in a bus.
It seems unbelievable that literally no one else thought to go to the state like radio station, state broadcaster, to be like, they will go to the like, I don't know if it's the number one listened, but like they'd definitely be going to it. Yeah. And
like, I can't remember whether like, I was obviously checking Twitter loads when I was at Spin, so I can't remember, maybe like there was like a tip off online about them,
but even just
there.
Logically, like,
but when we arrived there was like 5 people.
Like, just from a marketing perspective, like Spin 103.8 is only in Dublin unless you listen online, and that wouldn't have really been that much of a thing at that time, but everybody gets to FM, and even FM 104, that's Dublin only as well, so like if they went just to Spin and just to 104, like, wouldn't make sense. They had to be going to 2FM, so like...
Yeah. And like, Joe, it didn't matter either way because we weren't going to meet them at Spin, so chancing it, like, we probably would have barely got to see them at Spin, so chancing it was kind of the better option anyway. I also have another point on Spin here. Spin ran a competition this week, not this week, I mean the week that this happened, for a fan to meet them at the radio tour in Spin, and they basically did one person won the competition every day on like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then on the Friday those 4 people or 5 people or whatever went into a draw, and then they picked someone out to win to meet them. I won this competition on one of the days but didn't answer my phone.
No!
And thus began a multiple year-long battle with Spin 1038 because I also won a competition. I won a competition from them for a phone call from Niall Horan, but they rang me when I was in school, and then because I didn't pick up, it was passed on, I'm assuming, to someone else.
Oh my god, that sucks so much.
Yeah,
Jesus.
bastards. Spin
Yeah,
1038,
fuck
we
Spin.
aren't your fans. Fuck
Yeah,
Spin.
we're not fuck Spin.
So that's the radio tour. Thank you, Ali, for taking us through that beautiful
That was
journey.
On a journey.
beautiful.
Check out our
experience.
Instagram at Midnight Mems Pod for all those pictures. And some Fetus 1D and Fetus Ali content.
I am sorry in advance.
So back to, oh my god, what's the fucking documentary called? Right, so
a year in the making.
okay, oh my god, string sentences together. So back to One Direction, a year in the making. They do the wee radio tour and they meet Ali. They play What Makes You Beautiful Everywhere on the radio, but also play it live because they're not like other boy bands, love.
Niall Horan can play an out of tune guitar very nicely.
They
They never tuned that guitar.
No. So then they get into the first live performance of What Makes You Beautiful on television. And this whole section is mainly dominated by Harry talking about stage fright and hate comments. And it's so sad. So,
I cried at this when it was on telly.
It is
same.
pretty
I cried at it
upsetting,
watching
to
it
be
today.
honest.
I'll say it.
I felt so bad
Oh my
for him.
god. So,
Because didn't he have stage fright on X Factor as well?
Yeah.
Like this, I feel like this was like a running
yeah,
thing.
so
I think is it alluded to? I think
it's,
yeah.
I think, was it in the second week? Is it in My Life Would Suck Without You? It's in my notes from the other week, but I can't be bothered to go find them. And he's supposed to sing, and he's like, if I open my mouth right now, I'll vomit. And then on the Saturday, he doesn't have a solo, which makes me think Liam absorbs his solo. And then, yeah, like in the X Factor episode, we talked about like how you can see progressively they all gain in confidence, but Harry starts to take solos, so you can tell that he's gaining in He's gaining in confidence. But then, so for Red or Black, so to my memory, because I remember watching this on the TV, this was their first performance of the single on live TV. But I feel like as well, this was like one of the first showings of Red or Black. I feel like it was a new game show.
Yeah, I don't remember that being a
Yeah,
big
I feel
thing,
like
yeah.
it.
Yeah, it wasn't the first one. I watched the first episode of Red or Black just to get a look at the like veritable insanity of the show. But
Yeah, but I remember like having this on a Saturday night at dinner time, because Ant and Dec are always on at dinner time, aren't they? Other than like I'm a Celebrity.
big Saturday night thing.
Saturday Night Takeaway starts right here.
Yeah, Saturday Night Takeaway.
And so yeah, we were watching this, and this performance has so much production, and like they never had anything like this really on the X Factor, because they always, like we said in that episode, they're always on a platform, so if there is anything going on, they're on a platform and they're not having to do anything. And whenever they were on the X Factor tour, they didn't really have anything like this, and they never really have anything like this again. But in this performance, they've loads of dancers and stuff. Like, they do set pieces, but they don't really do dancers. And then, so because of everything that's going on, plus just the nerves and stress, Harry gets very nervous, and for a minute, it's really cute, but then it's just not. And he gets so nervous and psychs himself out for his wee solo, to the point where, like, he gets through it, but he doesn't do it particularly well. His wee hand is shaking so much.
He's shaking, yeah.
I think
I thought it sounded mostly okay, like, as well, because they obviously have, all big pop stars have those, like, backing vocals or whatever.
yeah.
You know, everyone does that. So, like, it's not like a line was completely dropped, and then he finishes it pretty strong as well, I thought.
Yeah, like it's really not bad at
it's
all.
fine.
But he
Yeah, it's
thinks
not that bad. Yeah.
He puts so much pressure on himself. I feel
Yeah.
like he always did and probably
Yeah.
still does. I feel like that's his fatal flaw.
Yeah, I see a lot of fan edits of him kind of still being quite nervous, and he does just in general seem like a person who like takes things like very seriously, and that's not like in a bad way at all. But like I remember seeing things. Like I see a lot of TikToks of like the first time he performed Medicine or Anna whenever nobody knew them versus the last time,
and he's shaking.
or like when he did the nights at the Forum for Fine Line, and he's very nervous at those, and like he cries a lot when he sings with Stevie Nicks. But like who wouldn't cry when you're fucking singing with Stevie Nicks? But yeah, and I feel like I remember at the time being like, oh my god, he's shaking, he's so nervous. But he does get through the solo, but he thinks it's not to the best of his ability, and he's really disappointed in himself, and he feels like he's let everybody down, and it just gets really, really sad.
Little heartbreaker. Everyone talking shit about him online.
Oh, so like Louis and Niall are saying they wish they could have done something to cheer him up, and Harry just sits texting his mum, and then he goes home and looks up hate comments about himself. He says he looks up Harry is shit. And
what a
do you
mistake.
think that if we tweeted Harry is shit, but then like replied to the tweet and made a bit of a thread, do you think he'd maybe see it and respond?
Do you think? I think he might have learned his lesson not to Twitter search his name.
Yeah.
Imagine if he was one of those celebrities who did like name search themselves and like respond to people. You know, the way some like particularly.
Oh my god, like
older
Christine
celebrities do that.
from Selling Sunset. She replied to me on Twitter from searching her own name.
Oh, no. That's so embarrassing when people do that. Yeah.
I quote tweeted a picture of Katya off Drag Race and was like, "Oh, Christine from Selling Sunset looks so good here," and she liked the tweet. So she didn't even just look up her name; she looked up Christine from Selling Sunset.
Oh no.
Gemma Collins liked one of my tweets before when I tweeted about just like loving her.
God.
Yeah, I was
She does change
starstruck.
people's lives.
And we do.
She does. With
does.
handbags.
Burgundy handbags.
Harry could have done one of them this evening because he starts having a pure cry. So he
Initially, when I was watching the documentary, I thought, like, have they played this up? But then it does very quickly become evident that it's like
he's just genuinely
no, this
upset.
really- yeah, he's genuinely upset. But it comes at the perfect time in the movie, like 2/3 the way through, for it to be a low point. You know?
Yeah, like narratively,
But,
like they've
yeah.
placed this well, but yeah, it is.
Perfect.
It's
Perfect,
It's
yeah.
very genuine.
Yeah, it is genuine. You can tell.
So yeah, Harry has a cry and is really, really sad. He says, I have like the quote of what he says, but I might like add it in.
It was one of
anyway.
those times where you're kind of feeling a bit sorry for yourself, so you're looking for bad comments to kind of make sure that you're right about it being bad. So I went online and had a look at what people were saying about me. So I read kind of just a massive list of these comments. You know, you read through, for example, your Twitter kind of feed. If there's 3 people saying you're amazing, you don't think, why are they saying I'm amazing? Because they're saying you're amazing because they're a fan. But if there's one saying that they hate you, it's like, why do you hate me? Like, what have I done? I can take criticism. I can definitely take criticism. But if it's just like a, I don't like you, then I want to know why people don't like me. I've always wanted to be one of those people who didn't really care that much about what people thought about them. But I just don't think I am.
I'm gonna cry.
The character development of him now.
Cry.
Sorry.
What a king. We stand.
What I have written is the character, all in capitals. The character development. Look at him now. God, a king. I can't wait to take a bullet for you in the wars to come. And I mean that. I'd die for him. Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, God love him. It's really sad.
Yeah,
I did cry.
It's pretty
But
sad.
character development, boom. Now he paints his nails, so he's obviously changed gender forever.
He's obviously cool.
What Makes You Beautiful goes number 1.
Woo!
But again, we'll talk about this
Yes.
more on the What Makes You Beautiful episode. Then the boys go Europe, which we've kind of already talked about.
Next week.
They go to Milan, which I really want to go to. Me and Harry Styles have something in common. We both have a real love for Italia, so put me on a fucking flight, boys. They go, and then they go in 4 days. What do they do? 4 countries in 4 days. I wrote it down somewhere. They do
They're to Munich as well, isn't it? And
Munich,
Amsterdam.
Stockholm,
Is it Paris?
Amsterdam and Milan. Yeah. And then
I remember at this point as well, I feel like it was around then that they did go to Paris, and wasn't there like a shit ton of people wherever they went? I don't know, was it a train station or something? And Harry's hat got stolen, or someone's shoe got stolen, and then everyone hated the French fans for
oh
a
my
bit.
god.
Do you remember this? I just remember that being a big thing on Twitter. Everyone was like,
I
"Fuck
remember
French fans,
because
they're
I was going
crazy."
through my Tumblr to find like One Direction related Tumblr posts, and I found something of somewhere where someone pulled Harry's hair, and I feel like that might have been at this time.
Maybe, yeah. I was definitely like before the music.
Yeah.
Because then it happened again when I think maybe a year or two later, and people were like, "The French girls are crazy. Please come to Ireland. We're not."
Do you think
We're
they're gonna
not.
fall for that one?
Throwback to me 30 seconds ago saying, I can't wait to take a bullet for Harry Styles in the wars to come. So then we go back home and meet some of the 1D moms, but we don't meet Niall's family because apparently TV crews can go all over Europe, but they can't go to fucking Mullingar.
Justice for Niall.
Honestly, I understand I want to put Greg on the TV, but what did Maura ever do to anyone? Greg gives me the ick, and he always has.
Oh.
Do you know?
Poor
I think I'm
Greg.
going to delete this because
We want Greg on.
yeah, but then I also don't, because imagine like the convo where he's like, "Oh, Niall, I went to this podcast, talked about you." Niall will be like, "Jesus fucking Christ," do you know? We can't.
Niall not like a stepdad? Is a stepdad a dislikable man?
Greg is the brother.
His stepdad's really nice.
Oh, Greg's the
Yeah,
brother. Oh,
Greg's
right,
the
sorry,
big
sorry,
brother.
sorry,
Yeah,
sorry,
no,
sorry, sorry.
So yeah, we go to the boys' families and we meet Zayn's mum, Trisha, and his sisters, Donia, Walia, and Safa.
One of his sisters is so sassy in this
Yeah.
interview. She's like, I don't know what to say, Mum.
Like unfazed by the fact that actual ITV are in their house and their brother is actually like an international celebrity. She just is like, I'm young, I'm gonna have a strop. What are you gonna fucking do about it?
She's fully having a full-on strop with the mother.
I really
Super
enjoy
nanny.
the bit. I really enjoy the bit where Zayn is talking about like when he leaves and his mum always cries and he says she's full on beefing.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's such a
yeah.
weird way to phrase it.
On her phone case as well, where she's like, "Oh, sometimes I go to the shops
Yeah.
and the girls look at me funny because of my phone case." And it's just saying, that's
This
so
is a strange
cute.
thing
Like,
to have.
yeah, it's very.
It's gonna get
strange.
stranger when we get to This Is
Strange,
Us,
fair enough.
because Liam's mum has actually like a cardboard cutout of him in the house.
She's
Yeah,
dreadful
all the-
cute though.
God, Karen brings the tears, doesn't she?
Yeah, all the mum stuff is pretty upsetting, to be honest. But it's pretty heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Liam's mom's doing a bit of ironing and like talking about how he doesn't have time to text, but he still will sometimes. And then it gave me that feeling that I got.
The next clip is like him sitting on his phone.
It gave me the same feeling I got at the end of Lady Bird when I left the cinema and was like, guys, I just have to call my mom real quick. Like seeing Karen be like, he doesn't have time to text. I was like, oh God.
But it's
Kathleen,
fine.
I'm sorry.
He's too busy texting all the young ones, Karen. He's off getting the shift, man. Leave him alone.
He's on the naughty list, man. He doesn't have to come home for Christmas.
And then we meet Queen Anne, who talks about her empty nest syndrome. But she's probably the mum who is like the most ready to be a celebrity mum. She's quite like
Anne was born to be a celebrity mum.
She's really feels quite like empty nest syndrome, but you know he's got to. I didn't name him Harry Styles for nothing. He was born for this.
Is his sister older or younger?
Older.
This is the mother.
Oh, older. Oh, all right.
No, he's
okay.
on about
Gemma.
Gemma.
I was just wondering if she was.
Oh, Gemma.
I was wondering if she was being like, I've got empty nest syndrome, and she still had like a child.
And Gemma's like, Mum, I'm only 5.
Yeah, Mum, I'm right here. Get back in the cellar.
There's not like a lot between them, so this is probably like Gemma went to uni and Harry went to international fame.
Yeah.
So, and then we meet Joanna, and Louis he seems to feel really guilty in this clip because he's talking about how she's just got divorced and now he's gone as well, and how he was so close to his mum and now that whole bit is really sad.
Yeah, it is. It's actually heartbreaking.
Like, it's obviously sad in retrospect, anything to do with Louis' mum and family, but like, even in the moment, like just watching that, like he is genuinely like so upset.
Mhm.
See, we said something the whole time and didn't even slag him off once.
No, he wasn't singing.
Accomplishment.
Yeah. He wasn't singing. And then the documentary finishes up by going to rich Harry Styles, rich stepdad's fucking really flash house.
Rich.
Yeah, insane
Rich.
house.
What the fuck? Whenever they went to your judge's house, they were like, Harry's stepdad had a cabin. It's not a cabin, there's a fucking pool.
No, my favourite thing is like when they're all like, oh yeah, One Direction, all working class lads, or that. Harry Styles is living in a fucking mansion. This is a mansion with another mansion in the back garden and a pool. Moving to LA was nothing to him.
Is that why he constantly mentions the fucking bakery? He says it like 3 times. He mentions it all the time. And this, I'm like, yeah, you work in bakery for like 3 hours a day. Not that bad.
That was to add character. That wasn't to earn money.
Working in a
bakery. I work in a bakery.
I work in a bakery.
He always says it was that scene.
Alright, Harry, you probably get fucking 500 quid cash pocket money a week.
It's just an elaborate tax avoidance scheme. His dad bought the bakery, and Harry it's technically under Harry's name, so he has to go in for 5 hours on a Saturday.
Secret posh boy, Harry Styles.
Yeah.
Nice house though. Nice house.
Very nice.
Nice gaff, yeah.
Not the grubby cabin they made it out to be. It's bloody gorgeous. And then they set about and sang Gotta Be You, which is a terrible song, but we'll get to that in a couple of weeks. They go for, I think we're going for a swim. They go for a swim in the pool, because there's a fucking pool. And then they sit around the campfire and have a totally not scripted conversation.
Completely normal, not forced at all. Everyone is so happy to be there visibly.
We were all sitting here.
But Harry, they actually were all happy to be there, which obviously changes quite quickly, but it's quite cute.
Well, does Ian not say that he was always just like, fuck this, I hate this shit?
Yeah, but then I think in my notes somewhere I have like God Zayn looks so happy to be there at this point, because he does a Zayn Lowe interview where he's like, I never wanted to be there from the start, and I think it's probably that thing where like if you have a shit time with something, you just write the whole thing off, and I understand that, and like I think it's just hard to digest for fans because we're like, but that was such a great time for us. What do you mean you never wanted to be there?
What do you mean?
Because yeah, he did seem to be having a fucking ball this whole time, and
Yeah.
they're all really pally, and yeah, they sit around the campfire, and Louis wonders what might change if they come back in another year, and Harry says he wants them to have a number one album. Niall says he wants them to do a tour that they're proud of, and Louis says that he wants them to have a hit in another, or he wants and Louis says he wants them to have a hit in another country. And they do all of it.
Kings.
Having a hit in another country isn't like particularly ambitious, though, is it?
Does Ireland count? Because you're in.
Yeah, does Ireland
Does Scotland,
count?
Wales, Northern Ireland count? Because you're fine. But yeah, it's a really cute little thing. I remember watching it and like loving it, but like being really excited by it and looking forward, and it's just like still to watch. If you want to watch it, it's on Vimeo, and it's just really, really cute, and it's very nostalgic, and they all just look really young and cute in it, and it's just so cute.
Yeah. It's such a throwback.
I remember whenever
it was definitely interesting.
Yeah, I was gonna just say complete shit. I remember whenever I watched it, Gossip Girl was on at the same time, and because my cousins came over to my house to watch it, and it was the episode of Gossip Girl where, Ali, have you watched Gossip Girl? Oh, well.
No, I watched a bit of the first season, and then I was like, I think I know who Gossip Girl is.
Were you right?
So I googled it, and I was right. So then I just never watched it again.
Oh, I didn't know there was an actual Gossip Girl in Gossip Girl. Is it a mystery?
Yeah, oh my god, Harry, you have to watch it.
That's so fucking stupid.
It's coming off Netflix at the end
I don't have to watch it.
They give it away in the first episode if you pay attention.
Yeah. You don't even have to pay that much fucking attention. We're hardly running out of time. Jeez, fuck.
Yeah. We're nearly finished.
To be fair,
we
may just wrap
got 10 minutes and we're on Gossip Girl now.
Yeah, we're
Gossip
scraping the
Girl
barrel,
content.
really, aren't we?
Yeah. Everyone watch Emily in Paris. It's so good.
Oh my god, guys, 10 o'clock.
Yeah, fucking hell.
Wow.
Let's speed on. I need to eat my dinner.
I can't wait to edit this.
Oh,
why have I been recording for 1 hour and 40 minutes? Christ almighty. Right, so, yeah.
Fuck.
Anybody have any final thoughts about One Direction: A Year in the Making?
It was a fun documentary. It was a fun documentary to watch. Obviously, because like at this point they obviously don't. Did this come out after Up All Night was a big smash?
So this came out like the week the album was released. So the documentary was released on the 23rd of November, and the album was released on the 18th.
All right. Okay. So I suppose this is really on the cusp of them becoming like the big band that they are. So I suppose it was interesting to get like sort of more. Well, it felt sort of relatively unfiltered look at what was going on with them at that point, but obviously still probably highly edited and chopped to make them look like great pals and stuff like that.
But I think that's probably like the time they probably were the closest, and like I agree with what you said earlier that this is probably like the most genuine look you get at One Direction the whole time, because they very quickly
also,
become so astronomical.
Watching it back as well, it makes you realise that they really did grow apart after it.
Yeah.
Like, do you know the way when you're watching some later videos of them, you're kind of like, no, they're still friends. But then when you watch this, you're like, oh, they really weren't still friends. This is when they were friends.
Yeah. But it's like,
or maybe we're all completely wrong and really do not know these people.
Yeah. I suppose it's kind of inscrutable. But it's like there's a Charlie Brooker thing where he does about like reality TV editing, where if you have enough footage, you can just make anything seem.
Yeah.
You know, make anything seem. But it does seem like they are kind of pally, and it does come across genuine on the screen. So, on my little phone screen. But.
Yeah. So, I guess that's it for this week. One Direction are famous now, and their album is coming out. So. Basically, guys, here's the tea. Christmas is happening, and we're all gonna take Christmas off. I know. Okay? You're gonna miss us. I know. We're so funny, and we're so banterful, and I'm sorry. This episode is gonna come out on the 22nd of December, which means none of you are gonna fucking listen to it, because it's Christmas time. But... whatever, we're still going to take some time off. And so we'll be back in the new year in January, because I'm going to spend Christmas getting drunk every day. I don't know about you guys. And so when we come back, we will be into Up All Night, into the first era. So we will start off with an episode covering like 2011 as a culture, and a like quick album review of Up All Night, and then like an overview of that era and stuff, and then we'll get into the music. So all of the singles will get an episode each, and then all of the album tracks will go 2 per episode. And if you have any burning things you want to say, which I know you do, check out our social medias for the link for the form to come on and talk to us. Or just give us an email, midnightmemoriespod@gmail.com. And we're looking for people to come on, so please come on, because I don't know if the 3 of us can generate enough content by ourselves. Yeah. Harry, I feel like you rarely spoke this episode. Do you have anything to say to close us out?
I just didn't have there wasn't as much what do you call it, like primary content this episode for me to review.
Yeah.
This is all based on memory,
this is all
so I'm sort of like
lore.
Yeah, this is all no, there's not a whole lot I want to say, except I am gonna have to start listening to a whole lot more One Direction.
Enjoy.
Yes, yeah, I
Up
will,
All
I
Night
will.
is a wild ride.
Yeah. So
I mean, I don't hate Up All Night. I don't hate it. I actually think I prefer it to Take Me Home. That can be my hot take for
And
the
then
next
the
time.
Zoom cut out.
yeah.
And
We've lost Aoife.
that,
I can still
guess,
hear
is the end
her.
of the episode. What an
Yeah, we can-
anticlimax.
She's probably gonna. She's
Oh,
gonna,
Oh, she's back.
I was like
Okay, well, we
recording an
do it, we
outro
do.
by myself. I was like, and then the Zoom kicked me out. Merry Christmas.
damn.
We could still hear you the whole time.
Fuck.
But, yeah.
Thank goodness I wasn't farting. Jesus.
Oh.
Yeah, so 2020
Stunning.
year in review. It was shite.
Oh yeah, you can tell me that, sister.
Hope you enjoyed this
Had a good time.
episode. It was a bit loosey goosey. We've been here for 2 hours. Let's just fucking end it. Bye. Bye.
See ya.
See you in 2021.
Bye.
Bye.
Merry Christmas.
I wrapped it up